It's time for this week's edition of Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. And this week we're visiting with Mark Duffek. He does farm near Seward, Nebraska, but things look a little bit different this week, as Mark also teaches full-time at Southeast Community College in Beatrice. So we'll get an update on that, but Mark, thanks for joining us. The last time we talked, you were seeing some timely rains, but what do things look like now in your area?
Well, good morning, Alex. It's nice to be here with you. And well, since the last time we talked, we haven't had a whole lot of rain in August. So we went from very positive, optimistic outlook to somewhat questionable on this year's harvest conditions. So in the month of August, we didn't have a whole lot of rain. And here we are in September. Now we're catching the timely rains that we kind of needed before. So we're sitting back here with a cautiously optimistic feeling on this coming harvest. So we're still trying to be positive on the outcome. Beans are starting to mature and dry up quite rapidly. Corn is turning very fast. So that's kind of the status of where we're at. Got all the equipment ready to go, all serviced and repaired, and so we're just waiting for the time to go and start harvest.
So you mentioned those students as you're, talking to them. They're doing the same thing that you're doing, farming. But tell me about your role then at Southeast Community College.
Well, my role here is I teach in the agronomy area. So mainly I teach the crop production. Here at school, we raise corn, soybeans. We do raise some wheat, some small grain wheat. And once in a while, we'll put in some cover crops for livestock feed. But mainly, we are a corn and soybean rotation. So my role here is to teach students about the application of planting all the way through harvest. We do have two other instructors that teach in the agronomy area that teach classes related to the agronomy field, but I specifically teach the fertilizing classes, the planting, the harvesting, and some of those directly related to row crop production. And so my main goal is to teach students, kind of how the machine works, how to set it in the field to optimize performance, and then also service and maintenance tips so they can do some repairs on the equipment also. So that's kind of my role here at Southeast Community College.
So very hands-on classes that you're teaching, and this year, of course, has been very different. What do those classes look like this year?
Pretty challenging because as we came back this fall into the classroom, we have a whole variety of restrictions and rules that we need to abide by as far as the social distancing and the COVID-19 requirements. So we have to watch our contact with the students, not only in the classroom, but also in our lab situations out in the field. So of course we have to wear the mask. We wear face shields when appropriately. And so it really has created some challenges, especially in our lab classes.
As both an educator and a farmer, and you do both full time, what does that balance look like for you?
Well, my number one job is teaching here, okay? My second job is farming. And so, when I get home from school or on the weekends, and my wife helps. She helps harvest. She runs a combine. We work together. So it's kind of a balancing act, so to speak. But my number one job is teaching my students here at the college. And then really my second job is farming at home.
Absolutely. Well, Mark will be visiting in about 6 weeks, and I'm sure you'll be into harvest full swing, but what are some things that you hope to be doing in those next 6 weeks?
Mainly harvest. Like I said, if conditions are right, we will be harvesting and we will be in the field and getting things done.
All right, Mark Duffek joining us this week virtually, as things did have to change a little bit, but that has been the latest edition of Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.